Yo, what's up everybody? Edgardo Cervantes, live from the spot, once again bringing you my thoughts about Alita Battle Angel. But before I get into it, by the way, my passion about movies, being a fan of movies of different types of genres and respecting the genres, and also being a fan of the Oscars, by the way. I just want to tell you all that I'm going to keep continuing to do so. I know I haven't been consistent about, doing more reviews. And I'm very, very thankful to keep talking about movies to all of you. And I will continue to do so as much as possible. I know. To keep you guys updated, especially if you all have been seeing my YouTube channel, you already know that I love talking about movies. For those of you who don't know, I really am a fan of movies. Do as much as reviews as I possibly can if I have the time to. Also talk about movie news if I'm concerned about something or there's some breaking news, right? I mean, and I always am aware of the news, when I go reading some articles from Collider or see YouTube videos from Collider Movie Talk. Or Screen Junkies, or Double Toasted, that double toasted goodness all over your body. Let's talk about Alita Battle Angel. This is what y'all want to hear. Seeing it for the second time, it got better. And I really appreciate this film the weeks that that passed by. I remember seeing this film, I think, when it first came out. It was on Thursday night, Valentine's Day. So, by the way, hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. So, yes, I remember seeing this alongside with my cousin. Shout out to Eric. And I gotta say, I'm very impressed. Just surprised. I mean, look, I saw this in 2D, but the second time, I actually saw it in 3D. I saw it in IMAX, by the way. It's really worth it. To tell you all the truth, the studio behind Alita Battle Angel, and I'm not talking about Fox, I'm talking about Lightstorm. That's the studio that actually made Avatar really successful and really what made Pandora so believable. Another key component about this film that actually did work was James Cameron. Now, James Cameron wanted to direct this film because, one, he was a fan of Alita, the anime cartoon or the slash manga, which came out in 1991 or 1992, one of those years, right? and respectfully so, I was never aware of the anime until I heard or one of my friends did see it, or one of my coworkers did see it. They told me, like, yeah, it's really good. In other words, yes, Alita Battle Angel, a terrific film, not just an average film. Now, on Rotten Tomatoes, it is sitting at 60% and Metacritic 54%. So, critics are not a fan of this movie, you could tell. But there's a reason for that. The film, its editing could be a hit or miss. But at the same time, you really you are bought into the character. By the way, shout out to Rosa Salazar, who was Alita. She was amazing. You believed in her. The sense of urgency. Her portrayal as Alita was so believable. I gotta tell you, I've never been bothered by the eyes. I just thought that she bought into it. Like, she made this character so emotional. The way Rosa Salazar portrayed this character was so strong. She really lived it up, but she did a great job. She bought into performance. And talking about performances, Christoph Waltz is in it, and he was not a miss. He actually did a good job of acting the character that he is. But he was a cyber doctor, and but he was really good. He bought in the fathership to the film. And every time when Alita and Christoph Waltz were in the screen together, you believed in the drama effect, and their chemistry was actually not bad. You believed in, like, the father and daughter relationship. again, it went by really quick. I really wanted to see more, but then I didn't mind the pace. But it still works because you are bought into the performances, and the actors done a great job. So tip for that. It is directed by Robert Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez, I think this is his finest film yet, because this is a guy who did Spy Kids 1, 2, and 3, Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Yes, he had his misses. I think, in my opinion, his last good film was Desperado with Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek. This is a guilty pleasure of mine too, but Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I don't know if y'all saw that, but that movie was just tremendously, just off the charts. Like, I appreciate just the whole story behind it. Like, it's weird, but it actually works. I mean, it just made Antonio Banderas so badass. Anyway, but back to Alita Battle Angel. Yes, it's a tremendous film. I tell you what works though. The action sequences work, the performances work, the effects work. You are bought into the world. The world is full of curiosity of what really happened, but you get to understand, especially on the second viewing, you get to understand why it was caused, why a war was caused in the first place. Even though I wanted more information about that, it still didn't bother me. But yes, the misses for this film is actually the editing. The pace could be a little too choppy, or a little too quick. There's a scene that is so important, but then they forget that, and then there's some plot points where it wasn't really necessary, or it didn't really belong in the film. I thought, like, for example, I thought Jennifer Connelly, when she walks in a scene with either Christoph Waltz or, by the way, two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali, great actor, but in this film, he wasn't used properly well, but it was his character, so it wasn't his fault. But two-time Oscar winner, respects to him. I mean, from Moonlight and this recent film, Green Book, which won Best Picture. Good for him, man. But he did what he can. But it was his character, so it's the way, I guess, they wrote for his character, right? But I thought Jennifer Connelly, like I said, she was kind of wasted into this film too. And then there's some scenes where you want the plot to kind of be solved. Ed Sheeran, Deadpool, the first one, being who he is, just an average bad guy, right? I mean, there's one scene where it just made me laugh. I mean, the highlight of the film, though, Rosa Salazar, man. I mean, she really she makes Alita alive, man. It was consistently wonderful. I gotta tell you, this film at the end was fun to watch. And by the way, the love story between Alita and Hugo, I think that was his name, it was believable in a certain way. It was targeting its audience, but it was also pretty cheesy in some way, but it worked, I think. And the first time, I didn't really bought into the relationship, for the most part. But then the second time, it's like, okay, you know what, I don't mind it. Alita has always been curious, and you know, she really wanted to know who she really was or where she came from, because, you know, Christoph Waltz's character, which, by the way, he's called Dr. Dyson Ido. There you go, Dr. Ido. He found her in the scrapyard. He had this machine where, you know, he wanted to check out this, you know, part or robot part was useful, or if the android was alive, and he was so surprised, so put in a new body for a good reason. It has bumped it to a 7.5 out of 10. At first it was a 7. It was a really good average film, and the reason why I say it's 7.5 out of 10, it's because, one, it's not a great film, but it is a good / fun film to its fullest. I mean, I get it. The story could be choppy. The story would not work for everybody in some way, but this respects the anime world. And because anime had such a bad rep over these last 10 or 15 years into live action adaptations, this is the one that I think that breaks it in some certain way. And there's now fans for Alita Battle Angel, especially for the anime fans out there. And I hope they all appreciate this. You know, at least it wasn't whitewashed, right? I mean, this film actually did work, and because it had a diverse of actors, but also actors that bought in to the story, and that's what worked in this film. The performances, the action sequences, still badass by the way, but it's really fun, and I really hope to see a sequel for this, because you know, I really want to see more of this world, the world of Alita, to be more expanded in some sort of way, and for her to be like this super android, or it's phenomenal. In other words, 7.5 out of 10. Well worth it. If you guys did not watch Alita Battle Angel, please have the time to do so. If it does disappoint, let me know. Let me know why. And I would respect that opinion, if anything, because you know, all films are subjective. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you all so much. I hope you all enjoyed this movie review. But hey, more to come, and you already know. Eddie out for now. More videos to come. Enjoy the content. Please follow me at Instagram or Twitter at xcervantes93. Peace out. Thank you all so much. Leave a Battle Angel 7.5 out of 10.